Hello, welcome back to the Mark Janard Show, the tech show about hacking. You need to learn virtual machines right now. You need to learn. Open your book and learn. Okay, I'm going to talk about Ubuntu versus Kali Linux versus Windows. Okay, so without further ado, let's get right into it. We're going dark. So let's get this started. The reason why you need to learn virtual machines right now is because you get to do many things like running programs, surfing the internet, and running applications without being tied to a physical machine, thus removing certain vulnerabilities from affecting your computer. What is Ubuntu?
What are you talking about, man?
Ubuntu is a popular Linux distribution that was created in 2004 by Canonical. It is an operating system similar to Windows and Mac OS for PCs, based on Debian, and is easy to install on your computer or as an operating system. Most of Ubuntu's software are free and open source. Open source means you can use Ubuntu without acquiring a license to use it, which is good. And you can modify its code. You can use Ubuntu on your computers, gaming consoles, and web servers. Okay, I'm sorry. We gotta have fun with this, okay? Features of Ubuntu, right? What's an operating system without a list of apps? With Ubuntu, it offers a wide range of apps for you to use. These apps include Firefox web browser, VLC player, Spotify, because we know we like our music, Telegram, and Bitwarden, to name a few. Email. In addition, Ubuntu has enough apps to let you access your email without any hassle. You can also use web browsers like Mozilla Firefox and Thunderbird to send and receive emails. Editing software. There are lots of editing software available on Ubuntu. You can use different softwares to edit your pictures and even create any illustration you might want. For example, GIMP is an amazing editing software available on Ubuntu that you can use. Office suites. Other features on Ubuntu let you create any document of your choice. For instance, creating spreadsheets, Word documents, and presentations are all possible on Ubuntu. Google Documents are also pretty easy to use, right? Here are the pros. Now, I'm going to talk about some pros. This is kind of like what the versus Ubuntu, Kali Linux, and Windows. So the pros are it's free. The main advantage of Ubuntu is that it is completely free to its users. You don't have to subscribe or pay for a license to use its services. As a result, it is easy for you to share Ubuntu with your friends or your colleagues, right? User friendly. You don't need to be tech savvy before you can install Ubuntu on your computer. The whole Ubuntu interface is very friendly and also easy to understand and get used to. You can also personalize or customize Ubuntu in so many ways. You can tweak the desktop environment to any style you want. Low system requirements, okay? To install Ubuntu, you don't need to own a high-end PC. You can easily install Ubuntu on your PC. It meets the basic requirements. If it meets the basic requirements, right? A 513 megabyte and 5 gigabyte ROM is enough to install the Ubuntu system on your PC. The Do Not Disturb option. Ubuntu has a Do Not Disturb option that hides notifications and stops them from popping up on your screen while you use other apps. All you have to do is click on the tray message found in the middle part of the screen and toggle on the Do Not Disturb feature. This option helps you to concentrate while working on your computer without receiving unnecessary notifications. Okay, so that is some pros. Now I gotta talk about some cons. We gotta be fair, right? Apps are limited. Unlike Windows, where you can have a wide range of apps you can easily choose from, the apps on Ubuntu are limited. Because of this, most developers find it difficult to work with. Come on, I'm saying it fun. You know you want to say it that way too. Compatibility issues. The operating system on Ubuntu sometimes has compatibility issues with the hardware of some computers. Consequently, these issues give rise to problems like a flash drive or a printer refusing to connect. There are also other problems, right, with sound cards when you use Ubuntu. Bad game quality, because you know we like our games. We don't like our games. If you are a gamer, using Ubuntu will be a frustrating experience. Like its apps, the games also have a limit, and the available games are very simple and basic. Because of this, several configurations need to be in place to gain access to top-level games. These configurations are absent in Ubuntu. Now, it's also less customizable. Worth adding that Ubuntu is less customizable than most Linux distributions. It needs higher system requirements. For instance, Linux Mint, which is also based on Debian OS, is more customizable than Ubuntu. Let's get into Kali Linux. Well, Kali Linux is a popular Linux distribution that centers on security. So it's used to understand different vulnerabilities in networks and to carry out penetration testing. Kali Linux concentrates on cybersecurity, which is a great advantage to data forensics. This operating system contains a long list of tools, making it easy to conduct security research and even reverse engineering, right? All of these things are to help you to discover any breach in security. Features of Kali Linux. Now, this is Kali Linux round, right? Encryption. You can protect files using the LUKS containers on Kali Linux. The encryption mechanism feature makes it all very possible. This means that your device is safe even when it gets stolen. Since you can protect your files with encryption, it will be impossible for anyone to access those files without a password. We have Kali Net Hunter. This is a nice one. This feature lets you use Kali on your phone. So we can, you know what I'm saying? You can use Kali Linux to protect your phone from attacks and even check for breaches. You can also use it to access apps and their features on Kali Linux through your phone. We have Kali Undercover, which is Kali Linux Undercover feature, enables it to change its environment to look like a Windows 10 desktop environment. Many Kali Linux users use this feature for people who prefer the Windows interface to the original look of Kali Linux. For you bougie people, they had to do this because they know y'all bougie. Now, the pros of Kali Linux: open development tree. One of the best advantages of Kali Linux is that it is open source. Being open source means that it can easily let its users edit or modify the codes in any way. Sharing Kali Linux with others is also easy because of the open source feature. Security is next. Unlike other Linux distributions, Kali Linux has tighter security. The basic tools and components in Kali Linux make the operating system very strong in terms of security. It can detect security breaches to inform you of possible solutions to the threat. Next, we have multiple languages. For, you know, because y'all bougie, y'all don't stick to one. I gotta, you know what I'm saying? I gotta do all things. Kali Linux has a wide range of languages available for you to choose from to use their services. Unlike other distributions that are limited, Kali Linux is multilingual. Most of the major languages in the world are available here, making it easy for many users that aren't native English speakers. Supports multiple wireless devices. Kali Linux can connect with a wide range of wireless devices. It has no limits when it comes to this feature. All you have to do is navigate through the settings and successfully pair Kali Linux with your devices. Here's the cons, because it ain't all that good. Kali Linux, I gotta get on you too. It is slow. On average, Kali Linux is generally slower than any of the other distributions. Kali Linux is slow because it has a lot of tools available, which causes it to be a bit heavy. It is also not beginner friendly. If you are a beginner at penetration testing distribution, it will be difficult for you to use Kali Linux. The features available on this distribution are for people already experienced with Linux, right? It is also unfit for daily activities. You can't use Kali Linux for your day-to-day activities like it's a normal operating system. Kali Linux is only designed to tighten cybersecurity. You can't use it to create documents like Word documents or to create presentations. The difference between Ubuntu and Kali Linux: we have functions. Ubuntu. Firstly, Ubuntu is an operating system designed for computers and a few other devices. It serves the same purpose as Windows and Mac OS. You can use it to create documents, play games, and watch videos like a normal operating system. Kali Linux, on the other hand, the main purpose of this distribution is to offer proper security and penetration testing. It helps in cybersecurity. For instance, ethical hackers use Kali Linux to detect security breaches in their applications and strengthen programs to avoid getting hacked. User-friendly experience. Ubuntu. Using Ubuntu as a newbie is easy because the system is very user-friendly. You don't need a wide knowledge of how Linux works. With a basic understanding of how a computer works, you can easily install and use Ubuntu. Kali Linux, on the other hand, right? Using Kali Linux will be a bit difficult for a beginner. The tools available usually need experience before you can use them effectively. If you have no knowledge of Linux and how cybersecurity works, it won't be easy to use Kali Linux, right? And then we have terminals. Here's another component. So when it comes to terminals, Ubuntu, the default terminal used by Ubuntu is the GNOME terminal. This terminal allows you to carry out simple functions like executing a command by typing it in and clicking enter, creating a new tab from a file, or creating new window from a file. Kali Linux, on the other hand, Kali Linux uses a different default terminal called Q terminal. This Q terminal comprises features like customized shortcuts, multiple tabs, and split terminals with the Q terminal available. It's also possible to pick a color scheme. So there are tools available for Kali Linux. All of these tools are to help in penetration testing and cybersecurity. They have different functions that help ethical hackers work efficiently, like speed. Ubuntu. The processing speed of Ubuntu is pretty normal. Apps and other features usually run at a moderate or fast speed, so you can easily get your work done. The speed is a bit fast because of how light Ubuntu's operating system is. Kali Linux, okay? The speed of Kali Linux is generally slower than Ubuntu across all or any platform. It is slow because of the number of tools available on Kali Linux, right? Ubuntu versus Debian, which is what are the differences, the pros and cons. Here's a little bonus for you guys, right? We have the target audience. So Ubuntu, the target audience for Ubuntu are those who are looking for different alternatives to Windows or Mac OS. These people generally want a good operating system, OS, to use on their computers. Kali Linux, on the other hand, Kali Linux is very important for ethical hackers and data forensics. People who generally deal with cybersecurity are the main users of Kali Linux. The Kali Linux software makes it easy for them to put their skills to use. Now let's talk about the pros and cons of virtual machines in Windows 10. Virtual machines allow you to run an operating system in a separate window on your desktop. This can be useful for testing software or trying out a new operating system without affecting your main computer. Windows 10 includes a built-in virtual machine tool called Hyper-V, but how useful Hyper-V is turning out to be is in the hours question, right? The following pros and cons of virtual machine in Windows 10 will help you decide whether virtualization is worth it on a Windows PC or not. So let's talk about it. What are the pros of virtual machines in Windows 10 or VMs, right? VMs have become more important in business-oriented computing, but they come with advantages and disadvantages that leaders should consider. You are a leader. I'm talking to you. You're a leader. I'm talking to you. A virtual machine is a software that serves as an emulator for a computer and runs programs similar to one, because any networking configurations or installed applications will be configured separately from the host computer. A VM can help businesses adapt. Okay. One pro is fewer implementation and management overheads. Like every other operating system, you can set up and run multiple virtual machines on one physical Windows 10 server with virtualization. This reduces the number of physical servers you need, reducing implementation and management overheads. Okay, that's one of the pros on Windows 10. Increase utilization of resources. You can better use the server's resources by running multiple virtual machines on a single physical server. That's because each virtual machine can only be allocated the resources it needs at any time. As a result, idle resources can be used by any other virtual machines, leading to increased overall utilization. 3, improve business continuity. Virtualization in Windows 10 can help improve your organization's disaster recovery and business continuity capabilities. That's because virtual machines can be easily backed up and quickly restored. And if a physical server fails, its virtual machines can be quickly moved to another physical server with little or no downtime. So number 4, reduced costs are the main pros of virtual machines in Windows 10 virtualization. In Windows 10, it can lead to significant cost savings thanks to the increased utilization of resources and improved disaster recovery and business continuity capabilities noted previously. In addition, virtualization can help reduce power consumption and cooling costs. So what are the cons, right? Because you gotta get this business to Windows 10. You gotta get this business to. It ain't all nice with you, okay? Like every form of technology comes with downsides, and there are several cons of the virtual machines in Windows 10. One of the prominent ones is its use of licensing the applications to be used on Windows 10 PC/laptops. Let's flip the coin and find out some other issues. Number 1, limited support for some older hardware and software. Some older hardware and software products may not work properly in a virtual machine. You may need to keep some physical servers around to support these products. Number 2, increased complexity is among the drastic cons of virtual machines in Windows 10. Virtualization can add complexity to your IT environment. No matter what OS you use, that's because you now have to manage not only physical servers, but also virtual machines and the software that runs on them. As a result, you may need additional staff or training to support your virtualized environment. 3. Potential performance issues. If not properly configured, a virtual machine can cause performance issues for the physical server on Windows 10. For example, if a virtual machine is allocated too many resources, it can starve other virtual machines or even the physical server itself of the resources they need. As a result, it's important to carefully plan and configure your virtualized environment to avoid potential performance problems. 4. Security risks. Isn't it all? Virtualization can create new security risks which add further to the cons of virtual machines in the Windows 10 environment. For example, a hacker could gain access to a virtual machine and then use that machine to launch attacks on other machines on the same physical server or even other servers in your network. As a result, it's important to carefully plan and configure your virtualized environment to avoid potential security risks. 5. Licensing issues. Some software products require a separate license for each physical Windows PC on which they are installed. As a result, running multiple virtual machines on a single physical server can lead to licensing issues and increased costs. What do you think about the content of this video? Like, what did I leave something out? Do you think that there is a better point? Please let me know in the comment section below. Please hit the subscribe button. Please hit the notification bell. I love you. Stay safe. See you on the next video.